Hey everybody, it's your boy Jay, and I'm here to really more yap about my Devil May Cry collection than I am yapping about the Devil May Cry Netflix anime. But I'm gonna go ahead, before I give my thoughts on it, I'm gonna go ahead and say real quick, you want a Devil May Cry anime, this is your best bet. A lot of people have things to say about this. They've said that this actually isn't even that good an adaptation, that it's boring, that there's not enough action. Well, your mileage might vary. I personally think that this is a worthwhile watch. It's 12 episodes of some good Devil May Cry stuff. Not a whole lot of action, but a whole lot of introspection, a whole lot of Dante just, really, I think the main problem people had with this anime was that Dante acted nothing like he did in Devil May Cry 3, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people forget that Devil May Cry 3 Dante is a younger Dante, a younger, more inexperienced, more bratty Dante, I guess you could say. Because a lot of people are so used to the wacky Wahoo Pizza Man meme version of Dante. And I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. The Netflix anime, I feel, is what happens when somebody engages with Devil May Cry, but exclusively through the memes. Like, the Virgil in the plastic chair, the motivated memes, and the bury the light memes, devil trigger memes. Basically, all the memes that came out of this game, which fans were doing all innocently and whatnot. But the wacky Wahoo Pizza Man meme is something that I get called Mr. No Fun on because I'm personally like not fond of that being Dante's only character trait that people like. Like if you've read this novel, for example, you'll know that Dante, there's more layers to Dante than just, oh, I'm an adrenaline junkie and I like to, do wacky, wild things. This, by the way, is a very rare novel, and I am so glad I picked it up years back. I think I spent maybe what? Oh, I didn't spend anything. This was a gift, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this novel is very good. I think you can track it down digitally on specific Internet Archive sites. I recommend giving this novel and the second volume a read. I also have the Devil May Cry 3 manga, but I only have volume 1. These are some expensive ass manga, man. I really wish that, Capcom would get their shit together and maybe reprint this along with the novel so that more people can actually see that, hey, here's some Devil May Cry extended media beyond just the games. Because I will say, a lot of people have a point when they say that the game story can be a little difficult to get into. Personally, I disagree, especially if you start here with the original trilogy on PS2. And I'm going to say this real quick right now. These versions of the trilogy are the best versions visually and the best versions to just play, period. There is a caveat with Devil May Cry 1. You get much better visuals, much better sound mixing, and the music sounds way better. But the US version, this version I hold in my hands, the difficulty is increased. I think by 20%. I've been told 20. Some have told me maybe it was like 50%, which also was a problem with the original version of Devil May Cry 3. But also the controls in this version are way out of whack. Like for example, Devil May Cry's Devil May Cry's control scheme is triangle is to attack, square is to square and circle are to shoot, and X is to jump. And then the trigger buttons, like one of them's like a taunt button, the other is a in Devil May Cry 1, it's to open up the map, and then the R1 button is to lock on. L1, I forget. And in R3, you can switch between Ifrit and Alistor. So again, really the optimum way to play this is actually the Japanese version. But if you legally rip this disc, you can actually put this disc into your PC if you have a disk drive and use something like image burn to create an image file off of this disk, put it in PCSX2 with some upscaling, and then remap the controls, and you're honestly good to go, in my personal opinion. But yeah, why do I say the PS2 versions are better than playing the HD collection? Well, because the HD collection, this is a beat up case, by the way. The HD collection, while it makes these games more accessible, there's so many visual and audio bugs in these versions that just it makes them hard to really recommend to anybody who's just not willing to track these down and pay the exuberant amounts I'm sure they're charging for this. I'm not sure how much the original Devil May Cry games on PS2 are actually going for. I never see them when I go to flea markets. And one time I saw the original version of Devil May Cry 3 at a flea market, which this collection has the special edition, which lets you play as Virgil. And one of the reasons the special edition happened, I believe, is because when Devil May Cry 3 was originally released in America, the difficult, like, I think the hard mode was the normal difficulty. So, yeah, it was like very hard. A lot of people weren't able to beat it. Another thing with Devil May Cry 3 versus the HD version is there's like a transparency effect with his hair that they do, because most of Devil May Cry 3's story cutscenes are in engine. And the PS2, because they had limitations, they had this thing where like the hair had a bit of transparency, which let you see Dante's eyes through his hair. But in the HD version, his hair is just all solid and it covers his eyes. I'm skipping over Devil May Cry 2 purposely, even though I will say no, they don't show his fit at all on here. I will say that his Devil May Cry 2 look is one of my favorite looks for Dante, and I really feel like more Devil May Cry media needs to have that. Like the fact that we do not have DMC2 Dante outfit at the very least in like Devil May Cry 4 or 5 or even the reboot. I got things to say about this one. But yeah, this turned mostly into talking about my collection. The Netflix anime, man, you know what? I don't even want to talk about the Netflix anime. If you want to hear about the Netflix anime, go ahead and watch other people's reviews on it, because I really got nothing to say outside of I like the Limp Bizkit intro. I like the new Evanescence song. Episode 6 was amazing. The voice acting is great. Seriously. I have problems with Johnny Young Bosch as Dante, but it's purely because I'm so used to hearing Johnny as Nero. And this is my 1000 Toys Nero figure. This is an awesome figure. Even though I do have problems with the way the face looks. Looks like Homeboy hasn't slept in forever, but I guess, throughout Devil May Cry 5, dude wasn't sleeping at all. The weapons look great. He only comes with like these. He comes with a couple Devil Breakers. I think I actually have, yeah, I have a couple extras hidden on his belt back here. Cloth goods jacket. This is really cool, man. I also have the Dante over there. But yeah, hearing Johnny's voice come out of Dante is, I don't know how to feel about that. Even though his performance is very good. And of course, the late, great Kevin Conroy is in there as a vice president, which really weirded me out, man. Oh my goodness. I do take issue with the whole wacky wahoo pizza man characterization of Dante, which 100% is where Adi Shankar got his characterization for Dante. This is the 1000 Toys Dante. I got him with Devil Sword Dante because I had him with Rebellion for the longest time, but I really kind of like the way Devil Sword Dante looks. I am kind of wanting to put him with Devil Sword Sparta. He comes with like Sparta, the Rebellion. He comes with Devil Sword Dante. He comes with the shotgun, Ebony and Ivory. You can't have a Dante figure without Ebony and Ivory, man. You just cannot. But yeah, my thoughts are all over the place, aren't they? Enough about the Netflix anime. If you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. I wouldn't recommend it. I instead would recommend watching this. Better adaptation, and it won't piss you off as a Devil May Cry fan. Then we have DMC Devil May Cry, which, again, I like it. Okay? I don't like it as a Devil May Cry game, but I like it on its own. I legit do like this design. I do love this design. Maybe not for Dante, but I kind of wish that it was maybe a younger Nero or another original character. Or, maybe if this game wasn't called Devil May Cry. I know we like to put the blame on Ninja Theory for this game, but the reality is we have the Mega Man guy, Keiji Inafune, to thank for this game. But yeah, I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure because I'll play it regardless. I don't feel guilt playing it whatsoever. Devil May Cry 4, I don't have a whole lot to say. I do have the special edition, but the special edition is digital goddamn only. Yo, remember when the PS3 logo was just a Spider-Man 3 font? Oh man, Yap Fu over here. Then, of course, we got Devil May Cry 5, which is a great game, but I truly blame this game, not this game specifically, but the fans of this game who made memes of this game. And it's because of those memes that the Netflix anime is the way that it is. Okay? Everyone thinks that Dante is this wacky wahoo pizza dude, and that's his only character trait. Go back and play Devil May Cry 1, damn it. That's the Ace Toys Devil May Cry 1 Dante. It is sublime. I love this thing so much. Like, seriously? Oh my god. Look at how good he looks. I gotta get him off his stand. But look at how good this... Hang on, let me get my camera back here a little bit. Look at how good he looks. Look at this detail, man. A lot of people don't like that face. I got my thoughts about it, but overall, this whole thing is amazing. This whole figure is amazing. I think it stands on its own pretty good too. I don't need to put it on a stand. I just choose to have it on a stand because he's like, I paid $200 fucking dollars for him. I better put him on a stand so that he stands proper. I don't want him falling off. Jesus. But yeah, man. I just kind of wanted to show off my Devil May Cry collection and, you know, kind of give passive thoughts on the Devil May Cry Netflix anime. I think that I can't wait for Devil May Cry 6. I really want to play more Devil May Cry, but I do have to get back to drawing. So I will see you guys in my next video. And, you know, peace and love. I've been your boy Jay, and I'm out.